Hey guys, Joshua Peterson here with Peterson Electric. I want to talk to you today about Siemens. These are two pole, double handle arc fault, no dual action, so there's no GFI protection because I don't think they make them yet. This video is August, well, pretty much September of 2017. The neutral actually is supposed to dictate and sense between a black and a red. Multi-conductor system cable is what we call it. Two legs or single phase two hots, whatever you want to call it. Basically, I put this in the basement and it keeps tripping. And what I do as a sequence is I go down and I keep my lights off, and then I'll go through and turn my switches on, but I know that's the only circuit, two circuits on, and I'll start hitting it. But we already labeled this panel last week because we did a service change. And so for you guys that maybe aren't labeling your panels correctly for your customer, it'll bite you later. But they wanted us to do a few phases. First of all, to ground the house on the outside for the service. Second, get a service change. Third, we put the arc faults in. And then fourth, we then do the aluminum pigtail copper splicing. We want to do that last because we want to see if there's any natural cause of problems pre-existing before we touch anything. But we did label our panel correctly right after the service change, or for the service change. And now we implemented all arc faults in the home. Every single circuit set perfectly fine according to 210.8 and 210.12. Arc faults and GFCI dual action and just single arc fault combination type. But finally, in the basement, this circuit was tripping every time I turned on the light. So I went ahead and replaced this paddle switch, put on a new cover plate, and it worked. But then it started tripping again. So I took off this light fixture here, and I'm seeing arcing going on the contacts inside of this bar fixture. It's pretty old. Once I did that, I put in this fixture, and I thought it was good until I came into here. And I know the circuit is fed, that's the end of the circuit. The GFI, unfortunately, is tied to the light switch. The light switch is switch looped to that light. That keyless comes this way, it goes to here, because this is the only two circuits on the house at the moment for this video. And then I came over to here, and I got this thing to trip, and then watch how that room over there should be paralleled is not. Watch me dim it. So I'm dimming a closet that has a pull chain because they absolutely basically are switching on and off that room with the light. But also notice that they're using their neutral as a reverse feed going down to the switch, and you can switch a neutral, which you're not supposed to. So bottom line, this basement is sealed. I tried the other two-pole breaker, which does the furnace and the other area of this living room. We cannot get it to even try to set. Which you think with the furnace, you'd just be able to find that one location with the neutral and separate, but not so. So everything down here is different from upstairs, so it definitely has Homeowner from the way past written all over it based on the type of NM cable as well for the jacket. They're going to end up probably, they said, gutting the basement anyways because of some flooding issues. That's the only thing they can do. At this point, there's nothing more I can really do other than trace through. But yeah, they switch looped everything, which we're really not supposed to switch loop anymore unless we have a neutral travel with the black and the red and a 3-conductor cable system. But we're really not even supposed to do multi-conductor systems anyways in homes unless, of course, you're going to a garage that the code says still you don't have to arc fault. Other than that, we never use a 14.3 or 12.3 for any purpose other than doing smoke detectors, switch receptacles, 3-way, 4-way, 5-way systems in the house. We used to do it for garbage disposal dishwasher situations, for example, but we can't do that anymore because we have to dedicate that neutral. Personally, when I pull my conductor cable, I'm going to use a 14.22, which is a 14.4 or a 12.4. It is a way more expensive cable. You're not going to find it at your big box store. But at least I can run out my red-white cable for my neutral, and then my black and my white. So you're going to have 4 conductors in that plus ground. Other than that, guys, yeah, this is kind of a great example of how I'm still getting this arc fault to trip. Right now, it's not, of course, because the video. But yeah, so keep in mind, keep your switches off. Go through, turn everything on, see how that powered. But it doesn't matter because all the power in these light fixtures are already there. So as soon as I hit this, it kind of tells me, boom, I'm tripping. So maybe it's just that light fixture or the socket or the bulb. But in this case, definitely, it was kind of weird. I could turn this on and screw in the bulbs one at a time, and it was fine. The minute I turned it off and turned it back on with 1 or 6 bulbs, it kept blowing. So that goes to tell me there's a neutral issue going on and there's really no way to separate this. Sometimes you just got to give the homeowner the bad news, and that is what it is. But if you have to arc fault that system because you moved your panel more than 6 foot according to 210.12b, maybe it's in the location of where Article 230 or 408 under switches says that you can't do that, or cabinets. You basically have to move everything. And if you move that more than 6 foot, in most of my jurisdictions in Colorado, I have to arc fault the whole house according to where it says. It doesn't give exceptions to basements, definitely, that you can tell when you open it up and there's these funky splices in the back, and you know as an electrician that has not been done right. Yeah, you're kind of SOL, so I'm hoping in the future that the cities don't ever go to, hey, if you touch a panel, now you arc fault everything. We're going above and beyond the code on this because they have aluminum, but there's nothing in the code that states that 110.14c under aluminum connections actually links to 210.12, or it links all the way over the fact that switching under breakers switches goes back to the fact that we should aluminum pigtail or arc fault. It doesn't link that yet, so I hope it doesn't because of these situations. What would I do with an inspector? You know, label it something different, I guess. I don't know. You'd have to go through and try to trace it, and it gets pretty costly to go through trace every opening. But in this kind of situation, they got hard lid here and soft ceiling there. Guarantee you I have splices that are done with tape around them in the ceiling. I have plenty of videos on that. And when you have those situations from the 70s or the 80s, you're never going to solve that unless you rewire the whole thing. So again, some situations are really difficult to deal with. But thanks, guys. Hopefully this will help you out. Bye.